Keep Acheampong's name out your mouth. Welcome, Blue Believers, to another episode of the Stamford Sync, where we are syncing up with everything Chelsea FC. And there's always something, isn't there? It's all going lovely, and we're looking like we're getting really close to Simons and Jorell, Hato, but there's just that little snag along the road, isn't there? Now, this isn't something that Chelsea are looking at perpetrating, but it's something that we should look out for all the same. So before I get into the news, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far. I've just hit over the 500 subscriber mark, and I would like to put out some particular thanks to 3 YouTubers. First of all, Behind the Dugouts. I just did a wicked collab with Kai on his channel Behind the Dugouts. Go and check it out, and we've got one on my channel as well. Absolute legend and had a great time. Second is Blue Lounge, long-time Chelsea YouTuber, shared one of my videos and helped me just get over that 500 subscriber mark. What a legend. And last but certainly not least, as of this morning, I've released a collab with none other than Jan from Football Therapy, who is an absolute geezer, and I really appreciate him giving me some time to make a little video with me. If you found me through any of those 3 guys, thanks so much and welcome to the channel. If you don't know any of those 3 guys, go and check them out because it's just more good Chelsea content. And as ever, guys, if you are enjoying my content and would like to see more, please do me the distinct honour of liking and sharing the video, subscribe to the channel, or just roast me in the comments, whatever gets you through your day. Right, so there's quite a lot going on, and there's a few things that we're going to get into today, but I want to give my first piece of attention to the news that supposedly Bournemouth have showed interest in academy graduate and budding superstar Josh Acheampong. And no, absolutely not. You just can't have him. It's, oh mate, it's just one of those, isn't it? Like, every time a player I like, especially one from the academy, starts popping up in rumours and news and stuff, it's such a worry, isn't it? Because 30 mil might come to the table, and 30 mil is 30 mil pure profit on the books, so it's like, there's very few amounts of money that I would be happy to lose Josh Acheampong for. Something like 60-70 million, which is outrageous and just wouldn't happen, would sort of soften the blow a little bit. But when it comes to these academy stars, it's just instant book profit, isn't it? So what I will say is I haven't seen anything from Chelsea's side saying, yes, they're encouraging this deal or they're, you know, engaging in talks about it. But the Bournemouth news is starting to happen, and it's just a worry because he's an academy product. And since Blueco have come in, they've just been shipping out our academy products en masse. Now, what we can hope for is that Enzo Maresca's particular favouritism of Josh Acheampong comes into play here. Acheampong's just 19, but he's made a reasonable amount of appearances for us so far, and he looks great. He looks assured. He looks like he's versatile, you know. He's obviously a defender, but he's not scared of getting forward and running and starting attacks and stuff as well. He seems to play really well on that right side of the back 3 when we go into attack. And, you know, if we were going to sell a defender, I'd much rather see the back of Malo Gusto than Josh Acheampong. But Maresca obviously seems to like Malo Gusto a lot as well, and he's very versatile. So, it's just a tough one, man. Like I say, the thing is, it's, you know, we're not actually blessed with lots and lots of really good centre-backs, and we need another academy star, other than Reece James, to start featuring in the team to show the other academy stars that we've got that Chelsea is a project worth sticking to. You know, we've already got rid of the likes of Mason Mount and Conor Gallagher and made, like, huge money for him, don't get me wrong, but this one just wouldn't fly well, was it? As far as I can see, everyone in the Chelsea fan base loves Acheampong. If you disagree with me and you think that we should be going after someone else to fill that position, or you think that Malo Gusto is a better option, let me know in the comments, man. Let's have a chat about it. But for me, Josh Acheampong has to stay. I think he just started to show us last season what he's capable of, and especially if Reece James picks up an injury or something like that, I just think he's going to get a huge amount of game time. He seems like he's reasonably close to making that bridge from, like, academy guy making a few appearances to being able to get into the first team. Now, what I have seen is that supposedly he is, I mean, you know, I don't know how true this is, but supposedly there are questions from Acheampong and his camp about how much game time he's going to get next season. And you can see why, right? Because we've got a lot of defenders. Do you know what I mean? It's, you know, we still haven't sold Axel Disasi. Don't know what's going on with Badiashile. Reece James and Malo Gusto are featuring really prominently on that right side. Wesley Fofana's still here, and we're definitely not going to be able to get rid of him because of the injury. We've still got Tosin Adarabioyo, so it does make sense for those kind of questions to start being asked, you know what I mean? Especially if you're a young player starting to come into his prime. But my issue is, if we lose him, A, I really like him and I want him to stay, and B, whatever amount of money we get for him won't feel like enough unless it's ridiculous money that no one's going to pay. So I hope you're watching this, Blue Code. Say no. If these approaches come to you, you put your foot down and you say no, at least Maresca. But hey man, what will be will be. I would absolutely hate to lose him. If the worst thing is that he goes out on loan, then okay, I can kind of, you know, accept that because he'll go and get a load of game time. But keep him on the books. Just please keep him on the books. So as far as other interesting news goes today, there have been 2 rejections recently. Our first bid for Jorell Hato has reportedly been rejected as per Fabrizio Romano. We offered like £34 million, 40 million euros, and that seems to be the amount that's kind of been floated around all this time, but now Ajax are coming back and saying they want more. Now look, that's not even super unreasonable, is it? He's obviously a very young player at 19, same as Acheampong, but he's got a lot of first team experience and he looks like he could turn into a future star, and we desperately need him. Anything else aside, we absolutely 100% need some sort of rotational option for Marc Cucurella. We can't go into a season and start in all 4 competitions, especially after playing so long until the end of the Club World Cup and not have an able deputy to take that left side, and someone that we won't have to change the system in order to incorporate, right? So generally what tends to happen is Malagusto plays over there when Cucurella isn't available. But because he's not left-footed and he's not really able to deputise in that left centre-back role as well as Cucurella is, that seems to be the position when if you see Gusto on the left, he's going to play as an advanced number 8 or a number 10 or a shadow striker or something crazy. So in order to start getting more in the way of consistency about how we play, getting someone like Jorell Hato on the books is super important. Now, I'm not particularly worried, right? It's not exactly a low ball offer, and I don't think it's going to take a huge amount more to get the deal over the line. If we pay 40-45 mil for someone of his talent, then, do you know what I mean? That's kind of reasonable in today's market. The other rejection we've had was one that just came out of nowhere, man, and no one was really expecting it, is for young Kenan Yildiz, the left winger / centre attacking midfielder, currently plying his trade at Juventus. So this one took me by surprise because there'd been no sort of news about it. We weren't really talking about it. In fact, the only thing I'd seen about this was someone in my YouTube comment said to me a little while ago on one of my videos when I was talking about options for that attacking midfielder left wing spot. Someone in my comments said, have you ever heard of Kenan Yildiz? And at the time I hadn't, and I looked into him a little bit. I was like, yeah, okay, cool, he looks like a player. You know, other than that, seeing this rejection is the first time I've seen any official news about it from Chelsea, so they obviously kept that one pretty well under wraps. So there's a couple of interesting things about this transfer in particular, and it's mostly the profile, right? So when obviously we're looking at Zavi Simons, right, and that looks to be he can feature in that centre attacking spot and on that left wing as well. And when I was having a chat with Kai from behind the dugouts the other day, we were talking about, do you think Jamie Gittins is going to be that only byline style winger, and you know, we're going to go for more versatility? Are we going to see more flexibility next season? But looking at Yildiz's heat map, it looks like he is a similar kind of player to Jamie Gittins, right? He is a byline winger for sure, you know, going up and down, although he can feature as a centre attacking midfielder, and I checked out his heat map, it's definitely got some spots there. He definitely did most of his work from that left side. The interesting thing about that is, even if we get Zavi Simons, it looks like we're not done there. The fact that we're looking for another byline winger and Zavi Simons seems so close probably means that the Morgan Rogers thing is just off. So it's interesting, right? We are, you know, I mean, there has been some news saying that Maresca wants 8 to 9 attacking players this season. He wants to be able to rotate a lot, and he wants to be able to have strong players to feature in every game. So if anything else, it just shows ambition, right? It just shows ambition. And we bid like 68 million euros for this guy as well. So the reason that it was rejected is supposedly that Juve are just not looking to sell at all. They want to keep him, and it would probably take some outrageous money, because, you know, if someone says we're not looking to sell, that means you're going to have to pay silly money in order to get this guy. And although he does look good, I don't think we're going to get our pants pulled down by Juve for a player that wasn't even really being talked about. Although he would likely be a really, really good addition, we've backed off of a few players because of money, right? Like, you know, Eze was one, Morgan Rogers might be another, and this would kind of at least follow a trend that we're not just like going in for really expensive players. So I've mentioned him a little bit, but let's talk about Zavi Simons. So the Zavi Simons deal is apparently very close. So it seems like he's close to agreeing personal terms, which you can imagine is going to be another million-year deal or whatever, you know, with bonuses based on performance, yada, yada, yada. We all know how it goes now. But the thing that has changed is the amount that we were looking at paying for him. So as of last week, like a few days ago, it was looking like we were going to pay something like 40 to 45 million pounds. And that was kind of looking like a steal. At the time of writing, on the day that I'm recording this, he got assist in his pre-season with Red Bull Leipzig. So he is still there and he is still playing. Although talks are ongoing, you know, he looks like he could be a real player. But the amount of money is looking like it's going up to about 60 mil. And that puts him on par with João Pedro and a bit more than we paid for Neto. And the going rate for these young, creative, attacking players with lots of sell-on value and lots of potential. But it does feel like this one's going to happen, doesn't it? And like I say, I do think this will put an end to the Morgan Rogers talk. And especially seeing that we looked into Yildiz, who is a real another byline winger, I think that is that attacking midfield spot covered between Zavi Simons and Cole Palmer. So a couple more outgoings to talk about. The first being Kenan Dewsbury Hall. The interest from Fulham is being intensified. The 30 mil amount is still being seen, and we'll make a little bit of profit on him for that, but ultimately it's just kind of balanced the books a little bit, isn't it? Because we bought him for 30 mil. It was a bit mad when we did. Yes, okay, he was Maresca's favourite player, but he, I wouldn't say he's a championship player. I definitely think that he'll go to a Fulham and do pretty well, but he just wasn't ready to make that step into the Chelsea team. In the Premier League last season, Kenan Dewsbury Hall managed 13 appearances over the entire season and only 2 of them were starts. So you got to think he's not happy with those numbers, and with the likes of Andre Santos coming in and all these attacking reinforcements that we're getting, bearing in mind he was farmed out to the right wing for a lot of this time as well, the chances of him breaking his way into the team are just getting slimmer and slimmer, and if we are able to get back what we paid for him, then sweet, I think that's a great idea. And lastly, the João Felix saga, it feels like it's nearly over. So Fabrizio Romano said that Benfica are going big for João Felix right now. I don't know if that means they're in financial trouble, but the amount I'm seeing is 25 mil. We bought him for 42, so 25 mil doesn't feel like you're going big for João Felix, but ultimately I think this is the best move that he can make. I've said it a few times before. He's always threatened to be a wicked player, man. He always has moments where you're like, but he's just, he's had so many chances in so many teams. Do you know what I mean? Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, AC Milan, Barcelona, and he's just never quite gotten his feet under the table in top tier European football. So I wish him no ill will at all, because everyone at some point who has had João Felix on their team has looked at him and been like, maybe he could be amazing, but it's just never worked out. And he's not old by any stretch. Do you know what I mean? He's like 25, 26, so he's still entering his prime. He could go play in Benfica for a couple of years, maybe rediscover that form that got him that huge move to Atletico Madrid in the first place, and maybe there's room in his career for one more move to a big team where he can spend a couple of years at the top level and fulfill that potential that he always threatened to. So that's it, guys. I'm going to wrap it up there. As always, I will keep my ear to the ground for more Chelsea news and do my best to be the first to bring it to you. Please do go and check out the 3 YouTubers that I mentioned if you haven't already: Behind the Dugouts, The Blue Lounge, and obviously Jan the man from Football Therapy, and his sister channel which covers football in general, Football Yannick. I hope you guys are having a wicked day, and I can't wait to catch up with you very soon. Take it easy. Peace.